We want back ends. Wipe my sins. They can't win. No new friends. Football fans. They sleep again. We wake them up. The champs is in. Champion. We want back ends. Wipe my sins. Wipe it. They can't win. No new friends. Football fans. They sleep again. We wake them up.
Time to finally raise a Super Bowl banner in Philadelphia. I'm the coach, and this is the return of the NFL on EA Sports. Tonight, we kick off the new season with the return of Carson Wentz, ready to, as a Super Bowl champion Eagle, take on the new $100 million man, Matt Ryan, and the Atlanta Falcons. I'll be back at halftime with a look ahead to the weekend. But for now, let's get to Philly and say hello for the first time to Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, it's the NFL on EA Sports as you take a look there at Lincoln Financial Field in Philadelphia, PA. Just a short time ago, these Philly fans in full roar as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. Pyrotechnics ablaze. They're set to go as their Eagles will match up with Matt Ryan and the Atlanta Falcons. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And, Charles, you look at this Eagles team as they interplay here. And I don't think from what we saw down on the field before the game there's any doubt they're ready to roll.
They pass the eye test, don't they? This team looks fired up and ready to play.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Falcons, an early season tilt. And when it's an early season tilt, should be ready to roll.
Well, let's face it, the aches and pains haven't really set in yet. And both teams eyeing a really good start to get things going.
With fall around the corner, football is back, America, and we're underway on EA Sports. Short kick. It's taped this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. So now here comes the Eagles offense as they get ready to take over. Look who is trotting out there to take the snaps. It's the much-anticipated return of the quarterback, Carson Wentz.
And what a blow it had to have been for Carson Wentz to realize his season was over after the injury in Los Angeles with his team just rolling at that point. Dreams of a Super Bowl in everyone's head. But as soon as the doctors cleared him, he made every quarterback meeting, every team meeting, spent extra time with Nick Foles, stayed involved with the team on the sidelines during games. He was probably their biggest supporter during their run to the Super Bowl. Never dropped his head, stayed involved.
And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. Okay, there's a tone setter. First play from scrimmage, stuff him in the backfield.
You know what they were doing last night in the hotel room? Visualizing exactly that. That's what they were thinking about. Making that play, having leverage, lower than the offensive lineman, getting into the offensive backfield, knocking someone down. Just what you said, setting the tone early for this game.
Jeez, you are fired up.
When I see a play like that, I can't help it.
That boy's got four down. Back man. 120.
Here's Ajayi. And he'll scratch out only about a yard up to the 32. And here are the starters for Philadelphia.
Back after off-season rotator cuff surgery is Alshon Jeffrey, who played with the injury all of 2017 and still caught 57 passes for 787 yards and 9 touchdowns. What makes him special? Not just his size, but his athleticism, which was on display, and a brilliant catch for the first touchdown of Super Bowl 52, and also on display throughout the entire playoff run.
Now Wentz on third down. Pressure brought in, and the Falcons get there for the sack. Takk McKinley, he's the one that gets him down. It'll be a loss of 5, and it'll bring up fourth down. You never want to give up a sack. From the O-line's perspective, they hate it for several reasons, especially because they felt like they let little brother down back there in the pocket.
Oh, no doubt. They have a ton of pride, and they go into every job wanting to keep that guy clean. They want that uniform with no grass stains, no dirt, nothing on it. But it's really, really difficult. You're talking about some terrific athletes who are trying to put him on the ground.
So here come the Falcons now to get the football for the first time. It'll be Matt Ryan leading him under center, the 11th-year quarterback, 4-time Pro Bowler, and the MVP of the league in 2016.
What a season Matt Ryan had in 2016, where he led the NFL in so many different categories as a quarterback. Numbers dropped in 2007. But the team still qualified for the playoffs, took down the higher-seeded Rams in L.A. before losing a tough one in Philadelphia to the eventual Super Bowl.
They'll run for the first time with Devontae Freeman. And he went nowhere. Well, he went backwards, back to the 33. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11.
Nice play right there to stop him behind the line, but I want to see how this defense continues to play him here in the first half.
Yeah, we know. You know better than I. He has the ability to take over a game, so what do you do?
Yeah, I think you have to make sure that you bottle him in at varying levels, because if you crowd everyone to the line of scrimmage, if he breaks through, there's nothing but room to run.
Off the corner. Where'd he come from? Well, I guess he came off the corner, but really nice play.
I like when you're able to pose a question and answer it at the same time. That's exactly where he came from, but it's not something that you normally see. Most of the time, we're thinking about those guys covering pass catchers. In this case, he was a big factor in the run game. No gain.
The punter posture on now as he gets this one away. Now Sproles. It's a 45-yard punt and 8 on the return. And the Eagles will have it, taking over 1st and 10. The Eagles offense heading out. You know, last year at this time, Charles, we said this was a franchise that's kind of been in neutral for a while. They're not neutral anymore. Defending Super Bowl champs. What do you think, favorites again?
I think so, because this team has few holes, if any. Look, your quarterback, Carson Wentz, gets hurt before the season's over. His backup, Nick Foles, wins Super Bowl MVP. Wentz probably would have won the regular season if he finished out the year. Offensive line, one of the best in the game. Passing game keeps getting better. Multiple runners who can run it and catch it. Flip it over to defense. A tremendous defensive front. They can just swarm and get after you. Great coordinator, very creative. The big thing for them, they'll have to take everyone's best shot week in and week out during the season. I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
Now wins. And complete to Zach Ertz. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. They do get 9, but it leads to 4th down.
Well, the good thing about covering any game I do with you is I know that there's no problem with rhythm. Now, what we're watching offensively, a little bit of a problem there.
Yeah, punt on the first drive, looking at another one here. Just a little slow. You know, they were talking about a fast start, but that hasn't been the case.
Yeah, and let's face it, any team we cover always talks about a fast start.
That's true.
But it's not necessarily going to happen just because they say so. And whether it's the script, whether it's, just what they're going through, whether they're seeing different defenses, they're going to have to figure it out as this game moves on.
Malcolm Jenkins up to make the stop. And we peek at the defense now for Philadelphia.
Coming off injury in 2017 is middle linebacker Jordan Hicks, who's an important part of the Eagles' wide 9 defense. And when you hear that term, think about the defensive ends out wider than normal to have a better angle to rush the quarterback. So that means guys like Jordan Hicks, who played middle linebacker, have to be able to fill in the holes against the running game, and he does that very effectively.
On 2nd down, Freeman. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. It's a loss of 4. Now 3rd down.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
It's caught. Jones. And way up past the 35 before he's taken down. And 21 yards there as they convert on 3rd.
I don't care who you put on him. He's going to be a handful in one-on-one throws.
Yeah, right now, you're right. They're in man-to-man. Maybe need some safety help.
I would say that'd be a good idea. Double team him somehow. I'm going to have to make someone else beat me rather than let him shrug my defense.
This is Freeman on 1st and 10. And that play went nowhere. Losing yardage. It'll be back at the 36. This will be a 2-yard loss on the play. And that'll make it 2nd and 12.
22!
Now Ryan going to give it to Freeman. And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line. Give him 10 yards on the pickup, and they're going to have a 3rd down.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Ryan now to throw on 3rd down. And finding the tight end Hooper. And he will have the 1st down as he's brought down up near midfield. Only 3 there on the pickup, but that's enough to move the chains.
At first glance, I thought he just used his size in order to win the route, but he also had a little subtle move in there as well. Made the defender think he was going one direction. I was able to track the ball in another.
Coleman. And across the midfield stripe into Eagle territory. The corner, Ronald Darby, comes up to get him.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
Back to the ground, this time with Freeman. And he'll be brought down, it looks like right at the 40. Call it a gain of 7, and it gets him a new set of downs.
Yeah, once more, strong running, excellent blocking at the point of attack. They've got a nice little drive brewing right here.
22!
Down carry. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. The tackle was made by Michael Bennett.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, this big defensive lineman will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
39. Left. 22.
This is Coleman. Give him 11 yards that time and a new set of downs. The first drive this unit had, they punted. This drive, much more polished, just looking crisper, aren't they, moving the ball?
Maybe the first drive was a little bit of a wake-up call. Probably a little bit angry that they had to punt the ball away the first time they had it. Got motivated, got to the sideline, said, okay, let's not let that happen here. As we take over again.
Ryan on the handoff. It's Freeman. And he'll take this down just shy of the 25-yard line. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, this big defensive lineman will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
22.
And now a 10th carry for Freeman. And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. It's an 8-yard pickup and leads to a new set of downs. Well, one unit I know you want to watch is that offensive line. If they keep clearing holes like that, it could be a long night defensively.
No doubt about it, because when they are in sync, as we're seeing so far, when that continuity is there, and you can see that they're playing off of each other while controlling the defensive front linebackers, you're exactly right. It could be a very long night for the defense because someone's going to run for some big yardage.
39. 54, south.
Here's Coleman. And they go the wrong way here. Knocked back to the 20. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down.
Michael Bennett's versatility, being able to play any position along the defensive front, allows him to make those types of plays. He finds good matchups and gets into the offensive backfield.
And there it works for a tackle for loss. Coleman now breaks a tackle. And they take him down, losing yardage back at the 27. He went backwards 7 yards, setting up a tough third down.
I'm getting the sense that Fletcher Cox is making offensive linemen want to take the week off when they have to play against him.
It's a regular routine for him, isn't it?
It really is. That play there, that's him all day long. Good luck trying to block him and keep him from disrupting your offense.
So that'll do it for the first quarter as we kick off another season. 0-0 our score. And we're back to Philadelphia after this.
The NFL on EA Sports is fueled by Gatorade, the sports fuel company.
Alongside Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin, it's the Falcons in possession to begin quarter number 2. They're in the midst of a nice drive, but facing a 3rd and long here.
Hey, south.
Out of the gun, it's Ryan. Calvin Ridley, and he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19. It'll be a gain of 8, but it'll also lead to a 4th down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and you can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
So you're a boxing guy. How do you score that on your boxing card? A very long drive, but 3 points.
And I really want to do my boxing analyst voice right here, but I'm going to keep it normal for us, right? I call it a draw. That type of a drive has to feel good, right? You take it all the way downfield, you control the ball, control the clock. But they only got 3 points out of it. So defensively, it could have been worse, right? So I give it a draw.
Here's a handoff to Sproles to start the drive. And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. Up from his linebacker spot, Deion Jones making the play.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
To throw, it's Wentz. That ball's caught. Aguilar right side. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down.
He decided to run a hitch route. It really helped to have a guy who can turn it loose. And, boy, he rifled one in there on that one. Not much run after catch, but it worked really well.
They'll run it now out of the gun. No gain. 4th.
I apologize in advance, partner, but the beefeaters on the interior of this D-line, you just know they were licking their chops on 3rd and short. And, yes, they were rewarded with a tasty dish, stuffing that one short of a 1st down.
Give them 11 yards that time on the return. And the Falcons will be taking over 1st and 10. Falcons offense, Charles, heading back out there, coming off a 10-6 season, made the playoffs again, but coming off the previous season when they blew that Super Bowl to the Patriots, I think a lot of folks were expecting more in 2017. So now turn the page, what can we expect this year?
They want to return to explosiveness on offense. I mean, that's what they've got to get to. You mentioned 2016. They rolled up points like crazy. Absolutely obliterated people on the offensive side of the ball. They want to get back to that. Get Julio Jones, get him sprung free again. But they drafted Calvin Ridley out of Alabama to help with that. All right, they can run the football, obviously, with Devontae Freeman. On the defensive side, the mantra is speed, speed, speed. And they want to get Vic Beasley back chasing the quarterback where he led the league in sacks 2 seasons ago.
On third down, Ryan. And he can't quite intercept it. Zone coverage, free safety was there. Couldn't come up with it, and now it's fourth down.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on third down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. Third down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
Now Philadelphia ready to get going on offense again. The results for them so far not that great. Well, not good at all. 3 drives, 3 punts.
Yeah, and now what you're doing is you're looking at your play sheet. You're trying to figure out what you're going against defensively. I wonder, are they showing them something they haven't seen or anticipated in practice, and maybe that's throwing them off? Or do they just have to go to a different play calling section and try and run some offense that way?
Tackle made there by Robert Alford.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
4 yards on the pickup there as it'll leave him with a third and about 4 more for first.
Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks and allow other people to make tackles. But when he can make a play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day.
And he connects with Ertz. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. An Eagle first down there, Wentz to Ertz, and the names that end in TZ.
A lot of tight ends just use their size and their strength, try to occupy some space and kind of body people away and catch the football. But not this guy. He's a refined route runner. Makes me wonder if he took some dance classes in his background with his footwork.
Rush coming, and he's taken down. Deion Jones. In from his linebacker's spot, he's able to drop him for a loss of about 10.
Well, that's the second time he's been sacked so far in the first half, and if they have designs on having a big year, on going anywhere, they've got to find a way to keep him upright so he can throw the football.
Here we go. Lady! Listen!
Now flags come in here. Looked like one of the Eagles might have moved.
False start, offense.
And that'll be accepted, of course, and that moves them back 5. And that false start penalty is certainly not helping their cause here. Second down and long. They'll run it now out of the gun. It'll be a pickup of 10 yards. And they're going to be staring at a third and long here.
Well, it looks like they caught him off guard on second and very long by running the football. All right, we always talk about tendency breakers and counters and doing things opposite the grain, and that worked very well for him. Picked up really nice yardage, but they still have a lot of work to do on third down.
And he's got the veteran here. It's Mike Wallace. And he'll be corralled out across midfield down to the 45. First catch of the new season for him, and he picks up the first.
Nice catch right there. Brings to mind the sentence, when in doubt, find your veterans.
I used to laugh back in the day when they would call guys like him crafty veterans. You get up in your 30s, you're still playing receiver, but you're around that long at that position, you're doing something right.
Just remember this, when he was young, he thought the crafty veteran was simply a guy who couldn't run anymore. Now he understands a little bit better.
19 on the last play, 19 more here, and another first down.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there. Getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his leg.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker or maybe a defensive end dropping out in a zone blitz, he's going to win that battle just about every time.
On second down, here's Wentz. It's complete. It's Sproles. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. That one good for 17 yards, and now they've got it first and goal. And now the passing game here in the second quarter starting to heat up a little bit.
Don't you feel the rhythm starting to happen, right? You see it. Now the confidence is starting to rise. I think now's a play caller.
Carson Wentz, that's his first touchdown pass since December 10th of last year as they have taken the lead. On for the extra point, Jake Elliott.
When you give up a long touchdown drive, you're looking for a silver lining. In this case, it's the fact that your offense had a chance to rest, and now they can come out in the field charged up and ready to go.
Elliott good with a PAT, and that makes it a 7-3 lead. This one taken just inside the 10. And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30 to the 33-yard line. This offense trots back out there now, and as they do, Charles, one thing to point out that we saw a second ago are some of the new rules in the NFL this year regarding kickoffs.
Yeah, nowadays, the kickoff team, no more running starts. Remember that when you got to circle a guy around, and here he goes? No more. You have to start, close to the ball, and when it's kicked, then you get to take off and go, so you can't build up your speed that way. Also, when you're returning it, remember those wedges that we used to say where guys would form together, 2 or 3 guys?
Offside.
No more of those.
Defense.
So it'll be a lot more man-on-man, one-on-one blocking. And also, they have rules about where people have to be when the ball's kicked, where they have to be when the ball's caught. So to me, it's much more like a punt return than it is an actual kickoff return. So I'm eager to see if teams now take their punt returners, those nifty guys who make people miss in the open field, and make them the kickoff returners as well, because I think you can still get big plays in this area if you have the right people back there.
They run. Devontae Freeman. And across the midfield stripe into Eagle territory. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down. A very solid gain on that play.
Here's Ryan. Over the middle, that's caught by Ridley. And this time he's able to take it down to the 42. That catch good for 5. It's third down. The offense on third down tonight, 2 for 5 to this point. They're looking at third and a few inches. Now a handoff. It's Freeman. And he's got the first before he's brought down at the 39-yard line. Give him 3 yards and a fresh. Set of downs. Running game working. They'll stick with it on first down. And he'll take this one down to the 36. A gain of 3, second down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
And he'll work it inside the 30 to the 29-yard line. 7 yards there, good enough to move the sticks.
And that's a nice pickup of a first down on that second down run. And at that yardage gained, they can run that play on any down.
Right back to him on first down. And he'll get this one down to about the 27. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9. Earlier this half, you were wondering how the defense was going to handle him defensively. Were they going to bottle him up at different levels, so to speak, is what you said. What have you seen so far?
Well, I think they've been absolutely terrific because it feels like on every play, if we were watching this in the film room, when he clicked off the film or stopped it, you would see 11 shirts of that same color right there in the frame trying to tackle it. That's what you're looking for.
So he loses 3 yards there. Now 3rd down.
That goes down as a loss against his rushing stats, but really should he have to absorb that one? He had no chance on that play before they overwhelmed him.
Pretty much on top of him before he could take his first step. And he will find Ridley on the left side. And he'll go down here right around the 23-yard line. They get 7 there, but it brings up 4th. 2 minutes to go here in the first half. We'll come back to Philadelphia after this. A reminder coming up at halftime, it's the debut of the coach, Jonathan Coachman, with us this year. Glad to have him, and we will look ahead to all the action coming up this weekend at intermission, as well as look back on this first half. So the field goal there caps what winds up to be an 11-play drive.
Well, partner, that's a lot of offense to run there to only get 3 points. I just wonder, are they going to recycle those plays because they were successful in getting 3? Or do you go to another section of the playbook trying to find ones that get you into the end zone and get you 6?
Jay Ajayi works his way back onto the field. It's the second quarter. His team has the lead, but I think he's hoping for a little bit more production out of himself.
And we often talk about preaching patience to a runner when things are a little bumpy in the early going, but we have to do the same thing with the offensive line. They can't wait to halftime to make the adjustments. They have to do it from series to series so those surface tablets come into play. Check out what the defense is doing and see if they can find a better way to run it.
5, 2nd and 10. Back to the air on 2nd down. Wentz. And he fires one that's intercepted. It's Desmond Trufant. And they will finally bring this run back to an end, but not before he's down inside the 5-yard line at the 4. He had his eyes on the end zone. He got close. At least he set the offense up nicely, but he's probably mad he didn't take that one to pay dirt.
I agree with you, and you know he's going to get teased because he didn't get it all the way into the end zone. But if they don't score now, if they don't get a touchdown, he won't just get teased. They'll be glaring at him. How'd you not score?
That's going to go as a loss of 4, and it'll be 2nd down. They get it to him running left. And he will maneuver his way down to about the 7. Only a couple yards there, and that's going to set up a long 3rd and goal.
Partner, I know we're in a goal-to-go situation, but my goodness, think about running the ball here. Not even a thought, is it?
Defensively, they're in a prime spot.
And I think the defensive guys are probably expressing themselves to them as well. I would run it here, guys. You might want to try throwing it.
And now the Eagles going to signal for a timeout. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. And Bryant's kick is good. And they jump back in front here. It's 9-7. Well, the offense, they got the ball in a great spot, but they went nowhere. Forced them to take just the 3.
And they'll be, happy taking the 3. But those guys on the other side, they've got to be ecstatic. They didn't let them get anywhere. It made them kick a field goal. That almost feels like they got the advantage, doesn't it?
Carson Wentz and the Eagles make their way out to the field. He's had a solid start to this game, but bottom line is they're losing, so he doesn't care about his stats. He just wants to right the ship on the scoreboard.
He wants to actually increase his stats because he feels like if he does, that means things will get better for his team, maybe get him back into the ball game or into the lead. In these situations, I remember playing with a quarterback once where he actually ran out onto the field first ahead of everyone else just to say, guys, let's go. Try and create that energy, create that spark.
Well, so far he has 1 touchdown, 1 interception. He'll be looking for that 2nd touchdown now. Wentz to throw on 2nd down. Goes underneath for Sproles. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. 17 yards on the pickup there, and the drive will continue. Throwing on first is Wentz. A dump off to Sproles. And he showed off the athletic juke. Good little gain there. Not a whole lot of real estate, but a nice carry. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down. They fake the give. Now Wentz. On the move to his left. Wentz can pull it down when he needs to, and the 6'5" quarterback picks up the first down. So the youngster able to use the legs to pick up the first.
And one of my pet peeves when they see this guy play, when Carson Wentz takes off running the football, I always hear people go, oh, he's sneaky athletic. No, he's athletic. Watch him do it. He's an integral part of the quarterback run game, and he gets it done very, very well.
You don't like sneaky athletic, do you? That's just kind of a jab in the back.
Yeah, not when it doesn't apply. I think that's a stereotype that needs to be broken down for him.
So on second down, the field goal unit is on here as they try to get 3 before by a point, 10-9. Now the drive ends in just 3, but they'll take it. Looks like they'll head to the locker room, barring something unfortunate in front on the scoreboard.
Yeah, they may not be jumping up and down and celebrating because they have the lead, but still, any little momentum in a game like this is important to a team, and they'll feel real good about going in and regrouping, knowing that they are out in front.
Final play of the half. It's Ryan. Caught by Jones. And he'll be brought down somewhat awkwardly here, and a late flag as well.
Personal foul.
I think this one's going to be a face mask.
Defense.
So they'll take the yardage and tack on 15 more for the face mask.
Automatic
Talk
first
about
down.
a play that absolutely costs you in the end. Just trying to do your job, right? Trying to get him on the ground. Next thing you know, they'll march off another 15 against your squad.
And Bryant's kick is good. With our EA Sports halftime report. Take it away, Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. Looking forward to joining the crew this year. We'll get back to you guys in Philly in just a moment. But first, let's look ahead to opening weekend right here in 2018. Some very intriguing games in that early window, highlighted by the one going on at the Superdome. A big test for the Saints as they'll face off against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. As for the 4 o'clock game, some good ones there as well. One being in Charlotte, where it'll be the Panthers taking on the Dallas Cowboys. And finally on Monday night, a doubleheader to start in Matt Patricia's debut, followed by Rams-Raiders in the return of John Gruden to Oakland. In our game, it was the former MVP, Matt Ryan, with a strong first half. His guys lead on the road at the defending champs as we send you back up to Philly for the second half with Brandon Gaudin.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. This one taken just inside the 10. And a nice job there as he gets this one up just shy of the 35-yard line at the 34. Now the Falcons offense, they get ready to head back out here. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had the ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ball game.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show them one thing, hit them with something else.
Freeman again. And not much there at all. Maybe a yard up to the 43.
You know that old expression, it's not my night? It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. He goes underneath to Freeman. And he's got the first down yardage as he brings this up to the 47. So just 4 yards on the pickup, but that's good enough to extend the drive.
And that one was a lot of fun right there because that was the game within the game. 3rd and short, blitz was on. What's the key for the quarterback? Get out of your hands in a hurry. And that was a quick little completion. Got the job done for a first down.
Another carry for the workhorse tonight, Freeman. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1.
Some runs are blocked so well, you almost forget that someone has to carry the ball to gain the yardage. The leverage by the offensive line to create space up front, really well done.
And they'll go with the ground attack here. And it's been like this all night long. Nowhere to run as they stop him behind the line. And they'll lose a yard that time, and that's going to lead to a third down.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, this is the third quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
A good gain of 14 there, and it moves the chains. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful you're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front. Defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
22! Here we go!
Running game working. They'll stick with it on first down. Now a loose football. Coleman lost it. And the Eagles have recovered.
All I know, partners, that with every play call that came in, there was a little discussion about, hey, we can seal this bad boy. We can really put ourselves in a great spot to take total control, and yet they find a way to cough it up.
Yeah, the two-score game opportunity eludes them, and now a chance for the other side to come back here.
Yeah, that means defense has to go out there and make some plays themselves. So we call sudden change. Let's see if the defense is mentally ready to take care of it.
After reviewing the play, the ruling on the field is reversed.
Let's go! Hey, 21!
They'll try to get the ground game going with Freeman. And there is nowhere for him to cut back as he's taken down in the backfield. It'll wind up being a loss of 2. And just like that, it's third down.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. The completion good for only 6, and that'll bring up 4th.
They didn't get the first down, but I have to say I do like the call. I like what they were trying to do. Try and hit your receiver on the run and see if he can pick it up. Keep it on his feet, get a little rack yardage.
Yeah, but a nice job defensively to get to him and keep him short of the first. It's complete. Swings it out to his running back. They opt to go for it, and they get it. First and goal after a pickup of 5.
Well, the feel that I get on this is that they felt like 3 was just not going to be enough after getting this deep into their territory.
And Charles, correct me if I'm wrong, but it didn't even look like they hesitated there. They knew they wanted to go for it.
That tells me that during the week, they were thinking about these situations, and they feel like maybe they're just the better team, and they want to go ahead and prove it conclusively.
And they're going to stop him here short of the goal line with the flag down. Well, this could set up a very interesting decision. So on the big tight end, holding.
Each and every year, we talk about very few tight ends coming into the league that are polished blockers or asked to do it a lot in college. So it's a constant struggle and a constant fight to learn how to do it without holding.
Now Ryan. And he gets this one to Ridley complete. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. That's good for a gain of 6, second and goal.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
They get it to him running left. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field.
Holding offense.
So some holding over on the left side of that O-line.
And I know for the guys trying to move those big defensive people, they'd love for them to stay in one spot. But they move around so quick and so fast that sometimes you just have to grab them.
Throwing again. Ryan throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. That catch good for 8, but still, it's 3rd and goal now.
And a nice gain and a broken tackle along the way, and really we shouldn't be surprised, should we? That's what runners do, especially the best ones. They break tackles and gain extra yardage.
On 3rd and goal, Ryan. That's going to be caught at the 10-yard line. And he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. Able to hold him to just 2 yards, and now it's 4th and goal.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. So it's another field goal here. He may need to ice his leg after this one. That's now 5 field goals converted in this game alone. Yeah,
get the trainer. They're going to need this guy. And they've needed every single one of the field goals he's made, too. If they're going to get out of here with a win, I say he gets a game ball.
Wentz and the Eagles now with a 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. They'll begin the drive with a J. And he'll get this one up to the 26. Mario Edwards Jr. there to bring him down.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
They stay on the ground. Again, it's Ajayi. And some space here. To give him 17 yards that time as that'll move the chains.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
So after the run by Jay Ajayi, here's 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. Call it a gain of 4, and it'll leave him with a 3rd down and 6 to go.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
Now Wentz on 3rd down. And Jeffrey's got it. Now he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. An Eagle 1st down. Wentz hooking up with Jeffrey.
And another thing that makes the comeback route really effective is that oftentimes after you've made the initial move, receivers breaking away from the defensive back, and that makes it a really tough play to defend. A nice chunk of yardage picked up there.
And he'll lose yardage here, back at the 41. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
Brandon, we're into the second half, and this offense has not scored a lot of points, and that was another example of why. I think it's time to open things up and start really trying to move the ball.
Now it's Ajayi. They'll fight forward for a couple down inside the 40.
I have to think a major focus of the halftime meetings had to be figuring out how to create space for the running game to get operating.
Well, what you pointed out to me at half seems accurate. That line has struggled to sustain blocks.
Yeah, I would agree with that totally. They've got to focus on staying on their double teams at the first level, make sure that block's secured before they slide off and try and chip someone at the second level.
Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete. The 3rd down battle won by Atlanta's defense. Solid coverage.
Certainly looked like maybe his 3rd or his 4th read on his progression. Just trying to find his outlet man that time. Ends up leading him just a bit too much.
Atlanta now coming out on the field. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done. Well, he didn't make headway on that one, but he's had plenty of carries all night long. I just wonder if maybe he's a little bit tired from toting the rock that much.
On 2nd down, Ryan. And this one is incomplete. The Pro Bowl wideout Julio Jones is intended receiver. And it's 3rd down. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. It's caught. Jones. A pickup of 24 on the third down conversion.
But we always hear about the connections some quarterbacks have with certain receivers. I think this guy has a connection with just about everyone. Didn't mind throwing it in there against double coverage to him.
Shows some confidence, supreme confidence.
Big-time confidence that he would make the play for him, and he did.
A handoff, Devontae Freeman. And across the midfield stripe into Eagle territory. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1.
That play wasn't quite as big as the play that preceded it, but still, gotta like the way they're moving the football, partner.
Absolutely. Pretty good room to run on that last play.
Yeah, they didn't get a first down. But still, you'll take runs like that each and every time, won't you?
Again, they'll run with Freeman. And he'll get it down here to the 43. 5 yards is the pickup there as that extends this drive.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. Now they try the right side here. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. One quarter remains here in this Thursday night matchup. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. And welcome back. We are in the city of brotherly love, Philadelphia. It's the Falcons. They've got the football. They've got the lead as we get set to start the 4th. Coming left, it's Freeman. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And they're going to face an uphill battle here on 3rd and long. From the shotgun, Ryan. And that is incomplete.
But there was no trace of nervousness there. He was able to diagnose that play from his linebacker position, stay in excellent coverage, and bat the ball away.
He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. And a little too much mustard on that one. It hits a couple yards into the end zone. A missed opportunity there maybe to pin him back. The Eagles offense now gets set to head back onto the field. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep him warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
And that is caught on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. The throw took him a little too far. It's second down.
That's a nice catch, but unable to stay in bounds. And remember, it wasn't a wide receiver who works on that all the time.
I was going to say, he likes to get the ball handed to him. Now, don't get me wrong, he's part of the passing game as well, but maybe a little out of his comfort zone there.
Yeah, he might want to have a few words to say to us about that later, but I am still going with you on that one. Wide receivers work on a little bit more.
Caught right side is Jeffrey. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. And they'll get 9 there as that sets him up better for third down. The Eagles on third down, 3 for 7 so far in this game. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1. They run with Ajayi. And he's got the first down yardage before being taken down at midfield. They only get 2 there, but on 3rd and 1, that's all they needed to keep the drive going.
I like his focus there because he wasn't thinking about breaking that one big. All he thought about was, I need 1. Let's go get that. Ended up picking up 2.
From midfield, here's Wentz. This complete left side to Aguilar. He'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. Give him 30 yards there.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that and have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock a defense off balance, that'll drive a team towards a victory.
That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down. This linebacking core, they've done a good job of keeping that running game in check, haven't they?
They certainly have, and what they'll also do when this game is over is thank the guys up front, the big defensive line, because they've kept them clean, so to speak. Not letting blockers get to them, allowing them to run to the football and keep that running game bottled up.
And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9.
We always talk about having to read defenses and how complicated that is. Well, this was an excellent read. Read the pressure and got rid of the football before it even got to him for a nice game.
And when they're blitzing like that, running back usually a good spot to go with a football?
Without a doubt, because he's right in your sight line or he's near you. So you're able to just get it to him easily. And once he gets in space, that's usually a good matchup for him. Can't have enough good pass-catching tight ends in the NFL. And the Eagles, they wanted to replenish their stock. They lost Trey Burton in the offseason, so they selected Dallas Goedert out of South Dakota State in the second round. And he is nothing but a big-time pass catcher.
What a great story, because South Dakota State didn't offer him a scholarship out of high school. He walked on there.
Yeah, so now Zach Ertz has a running mate at tight end.
Things made a little more difficult after the false start as they try again on 2nd and goal. This is Ajayi. And he'll work his way closer to the goal line as he's got 5 down to the 3. This is kind of one of those in-between plays here, Charles, on 3rd and goal from the 2 or the 3 in that area. What do you dial up?
Something quick hitting. You don't have the time for something that develops slowly. It's got to be right at them if you're going to run the football. And if you're going to throw it, something quick, get it out of your hands in a hurry.
And they'll get him down just shy of the goal line at about the 1. He needed 3. He got 2. Now that'll set up an interesting situation here on 4th and a yard. Oh, and now movement and a whistle, and they may have to rethink their plans on 4th down.
False start, offense.
Now, 4th and short, had your offense out there. That one stings.
And you know something? Your options change dramatically. Not only is it tougher to go for it, but what if you decided just to line up and try and draw them off sides? If you did it on 4th and short, you could pick up the cheap first down. Now, you still won't get a first down even if you do exactly.
And he'll take it into the end zone for an Eagles touchdown. Mike Wallace, his first touchdown as a member of the Eagles. And the Eagles have moved out in front here in the 4th quarter. Big 4th down conversion for the score and the defense. That is a tough pill to swallow.
Big time for them. How about them just deciding to go for it on 4th down? And, okay, forget the field goal, because that looked like an easy 3 points. Yeah, you might have had a defensive breakdown in there, but they pressed the issue and found a way to get it into the end zone. Give them big credit for that.
So out come the Falcons now. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tough for guys trying to get to the football.
So that one a hold right guard.
And you understand why offensive and defensive linemen probably go to martial arts.
Eagles get there for the sack. Chris Long with a big-time sack on third down. And it'll be a loss of 7. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
I know there's no magnet in the ball, but sometimes for the punt returner, after such a scramble, it sort of feels that way, doesn't it? He has it, he loses it, somehow the ball finds its way back to him.
Atoned for his sin, and you know he's taking a deep sigh of relief right now. And he'll be tackled at about the 35. Ricardo Allen, the safety, makes the stop.
But Brandon, pace comes into play now because they've got the advantage. They've got the football, but they've got to be very careful about what speed they're going to play. You know, my music teacher back in New Paltz, this is my Beamer Bagley, used to say, don't go prestissimo when you really want to go largo. And what she meant by that is don't go too fast when you really want to go at a nice, slow, deliberate pace.
I am speechless. I am without speech. The Eagles on third down. Not quite 50%. 4 for 9. This will be 3rd and 6. Wentz now to throw. And this is going to be incomplete. Here's John Ryan now. He's been terrific so far. He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. Oh, he'll field it in the end zone. A good return there, 17 yards. And the Falcons will get it 1st and 10 from deep in their own territory. The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down. Now Ryan on 1st down. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down.
It's a lot of contact going on there, and in the end, unable to keep 2 hands on the football and bring it into his body.
Everything looked pretty good until the finish. Ryan. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
Trying to erase that deficit all at once. One big shot. He took it. Unfortunately for him, incomplete.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has him staring at a 3rd and 10. Now it's Ryan. And that will be incomplete as well.
There was no secret who they were trying to get the football to.
Well, no. They went to him on 1st down, 2nd down, 3rd down, all 3 incomplete.
Yeah, and when you're unable to connect and you force it in that direction, all you're doing is giving confidence to the defense. They feel like they're really hurting you in a big way.
But fortunately, he's able to recover his own fumble, and that could have been trouble.
And that's what friends are for.
As the returner, you know who you're buying dinner for later.
Oh, without a doubt, because he just took care of you and your team in a big way. You know, you turn it over there, that's a big momentum changer and put your defense in a bad spot.
And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started.
Well, you had to punt on your first drive, and on the first play of the second drive, you end up going backwards. I would dare say they need something good to happen right here, right now.
They'll run it now out of the gun. So he got free of 1 tackle, but couldn't do a whole lot else. 4 yards on the pickup there, and now they're left with a 3rd and 8. Well, with the fumble he had earlier, we know how key keeping the football is here. That fumble earlier probably at the forefront of his mind. Just hold on to this thing.
It's also at the forefront of the mind of the guys who are trying to get the ball from him. And since they've seen him drop it on the ground before, they're doing everything possible to have him do it again. They need that turnover.
He dropped it. Couldn't hang on in the end zone. So no 6 points, incomplete. Meanwhile, on third down, they take a shot at the end zone, but it's incomplete. And this is good. He got just enough to clear the crossbar as he drops it in from long distance. So it's not an NFL record, but it's not far off. That'll go in the books as a 61-yard field goal.
And wasn't it weird? To see a guy line up for a field goal on the other side of midfield, the ball got halfway there and you thought, no way is that going to make it, but it just kept carrying and carrying, and he winds up sneaking it right over the bar.
Matt Ryan with 3 game-winning drives for the Falcons last year. He's got a chance for one here on 1st and 10. And Jones hands it over the middle. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. He got 29 yards that time. They'll throw on 1st down with Ryan. This one caught by Ridley. And he'll be brought down, it looks like right at the 40. A gain of 6 there on 1st. That time they hit him out of the slot on the drag.
And that route takes some fortitude from the guy running it because he knows he's going through the briar patch, as I like to call it, right? He's trying to work his way through all that traffic and people wanting to put a little contact on him. Really well done.
That catch puts him over 70 yards receiving now as he's got a 1st down.
I think that's a big pickup for a 1st down because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a 1st down. Executed it to perfection. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down. 4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. Again, Ryan. Time for a break. We'll come back for the electrifying conclusion after this. So it's Falcon football as we welcome you back. They face a critical 3rd down now, needing a score here in the late going. He'll look to throw, and he will find Ridley. That's complete. And he's going to get the 1st down here as he's taken down at the 22. They just keep marching right along. 1st down on a pickup of 8 there.
I'm starting to wonder here. Are they trying to prevent winning? Because right now, they're laying back and they're picking them apart, moving the ball downfield, and they got to start bringing a little pressure towards the quarterback.
Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. There have been quite a few plays they might look back on and say, we really have hurt ourselves, and that was another example.
And this is late-game execution. Everything on the line, so it all has to come together properly. The throw's made. Where's the catch? Got to catch in that spot.
Another throw on 2nd down, and this one incomplete as well. 3rd and long coming up. Defensively, you pressure the quarterback or drape all over the passing lane?
Yes, that's exactly what you do. It's both because they're not mutually exclusive. They may have been at one time in football, but not anymore. You want to have that pressure. If you have a big-time pass rusher, send him after the quarterback and then make sure you blanket the field.
So this defense, they looked a little shaky to start the drive, but bottom line, they're a play away from finishing it off.
They rocked them a little bit on this drive, didn't they? But as you and I both know, it's not how you start, it's how you finish.
And he is into the end zone for a Falcon touchdown. Julio Jones, a 22-yard touchdown grab. And the Falcons are an extra point away from having the lead. Now they can boot it through on the always important extra point, and then their defense has to hold up their end of the bargain.
And